Hey, what's going on, people? How y'all doing today? Thank y'all for coming back to the channel where we talk about faith, fitness, finance, you, and relationships. And you know what just hit me just now? I just said to myself, what was the age that made you start evaluating and thinking about your life as a whole? What was that one incident that hit you like, oh damn, you felt like life just hit you like damn. You start looking around and you start thinking about your father. You start being so in tune in your head. You start looking around from your finance, your friends, relationships. It could be any little thing. What made you stop and say, oh, I gotta lock in. I gotta get this shit right. I gotta do things better. I gotta get this together to make myself my better me good for the future me. What was that one scenario? And I was just thinking about it just now. I think I had two different time periods where that actually happened. One was when I turned 30 years old. Everybody know in my 20s I just wanted to do a lot of adventures, a lot of going out, a lot of just this, that, and third. That's what's always been me. I'm a Sagittarius, you know what I mean? So I always been on a run, on a go, vacationing, the most stamps in my passport in my 20s, just always up and going. But when I turned 30, 30 back then felt like I'm old now, you know what I mean? Kind of start figuring some stuff out, you know what I mean? Even though I feel like I was doing good, but I said, Kyle, you got to figure things out. And that's when I think I was introduced to that Dave Ramsey book for the first time. And I read the Total Money Makeover from Dave Ramsey. And I always talk about that because I think that was where I looked at finance a little bit differently, even though I had my old ways, but I looked at finance differently and I said, okay, at least let me follow his steps and get myself out of debt. That's when I went hardcore. I started a channel on Facebook called Kyle Financial Tuesdays, and I was going intense and hardcore. One thing about myself, when I give myself a challenge, I try to write it out, say it out loud, make a challenge, and hold myself accountable for myself and also others that hold me accountable as well. So it actually worked out for me every time. So I had cleared out all my debt, and then after I cleared out all my debt, I went back to my normal soap, but I never went back into debt. So I've always felt okay, I'm doing good. You know what I mean? So it never hit me again. So the next time it felt like it hit me, it was 2022. I'm 42 years old. Right now I'm 44, about to be 45 in December 2025. But it was it was February 2022. And what happened was I had my car paid off, I had my slingshot paid off, I had no other debt besides my mortgage. So someone hit my car and the insurance totaled it out. So now I was forced to get another car. And being forced to get another car, even though the insurance company, they after everything was said and done, they gave me a check for $8,000. But $8,000 in this new market is nothing. So, and I ran and got me a car, the car I have now, and it costed it 53,000 out the door. Even though I put the 8,000 now, so 45,000, I was left to pay for it. And I'm talking all this finance stuff, and then now I'm back into a car note. So my initial idea was, okay, even though I got this car note, is a step back for myself. Okay, go high intense and pay it off within 3 years. But then I had to talk to myself. I'm like, how I feel like I moved back 3 steps in life just from one incident. You know what I mean? And one incident that I knew was going to happen eventually. Because even though I kept it up, my car, I kept it up. I had it for 15 years. I should have knew I'm going to need another car eventually. You know what I mean? So why I feel like I'm taking 3 steps back in myself. And sometimes, even though outside looking in, people say, okay, Kyle, you still doing good, this and that. The biggest critic. You know what I mean? I go so hard on my own. So now I'm like, why to take 3 steps back for one incident that I knew was going to happen eventually, and why I ain't set up for the next point? Because I was always set up just for, I paid off all my debt, even though I had no credit cards, no loans, no other debt besides just my mortgage. I felt like to myself, I could do whatever I want now. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I'm investing in my 401. You know what I mean? I was doing my 401, but other than that, I just feel like I could do what I want when I want to do it. And once that happened, I shut down my whole life. I locked in so hard. So I got the car in February 2022. I I locked in and isolated and deprived myself for. It took me 13 months to pay off that debt. And when I say I didn't do nothing from March 2022 to March 2023, April of 2023, when I paid it off, I didn't do nothing at all. That's all I did was with high intensity, and I paid that car off in 13 months. Now, once I paid that car off in 13 months, I felt happy, you know what I mean? I felt good about myself, you know what I mean? I'm not in no debt, so I felt good about myself. But then another thought came in my head, like, damn. And at the time of April of 2023, I got my mortgage down to like 100 grand. And I said, damn, if I could do 45 in that short period, even though I feel like I didn't do every dime was going to my mortgage. Like I was living like check to check, like cent to cent. I'm writing down everything I get, so I'm not spending nothing outside the normal. So, and I said to myself, damn, if I could pay that off in one year, and I only owe 100,000 on the house, if I go high intensity, even though I ain't gonna get my regular life like pleasures, but in my mind, it's like I did everything I wanted to do before my 30th birthday. I had a bucket list. Anybody know I had a bucket list before 30, and I finished a 2 page list on myself. And also, I was doing stuff in my 30s as well. And I'm like, damn, I could do 2 more years, 2 or 3 more years to get that down, and then I could just live like no one else. Like Dave Ramsey always say, because I listen to Dave Ramsey words, and I think everybody should pick up that book. Dave Ramsey actually go hardcore, but his steps actually work. It's called the Total Money Makeover, and even though he get hard on you, but it actually works. And I always a believer of it, but when it came to the mortgage portion, I just had to like, I just pay a little bit. I was paying a little bit higher, but I didn't go high intense with it. So I said, so let's go back to after I paid the car. So I said, Kyle, go hard. Try to knock out this mortgage in the next 2 or 3 years, like 2 or 3 years. And ever since that day, I just been going super hard. And now to see my mortgage down from just in 2023, 100,000 down to 30,000. Current date today is August 21st. The current date is it's impressive. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? To get it down to almost 30 grand, and I would definitely be paid this mortgage off. I'm gonna still keep on going hard until it's paid off. On what and I gave myself October to 2026 to pay it off. So to go that hard and saying that this is possible, now I know I'm setting up my future so I could live like no one else and go back to how I normally live, going out. As long as I'm not gonna get myself in debt. But now all that money is free money to just invest and live and do things I want to do when I want to do it. So right now I'm 44. I'm about to turn 45 in December, but late in my I'll be 45 still when having this house paid for, and I just got the house 2017. So typically I'm gonna pay this house off, give or take, in 9 years. A little before 9 years, because I got it in October 2017. So them with the two pinnacles that made me stop and say, okay, Kyle, what I'm doing. Am I really good, or I'm setting myself like what is going on? It made me evaluate my whole life and say, what's my life plan? Because it's just certain things that hit you in life, and I want to know what hit you in life and saying, oh, I don't care if it's from finance, from family, to friends, to just your own bullshit sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes we got our own bullshit. Say, okay, I gotta stop this bullshit. Like I gotta stop playing around and get serious about something. Not to say to be serious about life every little drop, every second of the day. Because anybody know me, I'm playful. I like to have fun. Even making this challenge, I made it fun. I made it challengeful, but I made it fun and also creative also. But what was that pinnacle part of your life when you said you sat yourself down saying, "Oh, I gotta figure this out. I gotta get myself in a better predicament. I gotta get a new job, a higher paying job, a purpose job, or I need to get my family back intact. I need to get my finance back intact. I need to do whatever what it is." What was something that was significant that made you stop and say, "I gotta lock in right now. I gotta apply myself right now. I gotta get things right, and then I can get back smooth selling." But that's why I wanted to come on here today to say to y'all today. And to the next video, y'all live this thing called life the best way you can. I just had to come up here and I was just thinking it. So I said, matter of fact, let me cut this recorder on and just start talking. So I'm about to go to work right now. So y'all take care. Enjoy the thing called life the best way you can. Always fill up your cup, your lifestyle cups from your faith, fitness, finance, you, and relationships, and everything will be great. So y'all take care. You always feel whole.